Hey BookTube, this is Friday Reads on Sunday. I'm Jen and I am desperately trying to talk about audiobooks before the end of the weekend is here. It's Sunday afternoon, so I'm scrambling. I have not been doing too well with Friday Reads, but you know, I just need to get back on track, so I'm working on that. This weekend, I have been reading The Chronicles of St Mary's by Jodie Taylor. They are narrated by Zara, Ramm, and I read the first one a while ago. It's called Just One Damn Thing After Another. It's hilariously funny. This is historical time travel set in Britain. And the point of these historians, the point of this group, like this institute sort of, is to go back and observe history, because history books are often written by the victors. So, you know, that's not always accurate. And so their job is to go back and get an accurate view of what happened so that they can then detail it out. And so you have engineers, and the main character is a historian. And you have engineers in costume and food and all kinds of people that help. Well, okay, so that's what the series is about. And I had read the first book a while ago, so I picked up the prequel, which is a novella. It's the .5 novella, and it's called, I think it's called Before the Very First Damn, or it's called The Very First Damn Thing. And then I picked up book 2, and that is called A Symphony of Echoes. Okay, and here is the thing about that. I was listening at night, like I always do. I always set my iPod's timer so that I listen, and as I fall asleep, then it doesn't go very far, and I don't have to then rewind the next day when I go to listen. So I'm listening along, and the very beginning of A Symphony of Echoes, and this is not a spoiler because it says that in the synopsis, it's kind of an encounter with Jack the Ripper. So I'm laying there, you know, kind of nodding off, and I realize that this is really scary because Jodie Taylor has such a way of being able to, she creates a sense of foreboding, because what she throws out things like, had I realized, or little did I realize that I would never have imagined that this was going to happen. She'll say a sentence like that, and then she'll go and explain the whole thing, and you get a blow by blow of everything that happens. Oh my gosh. And it was Jack the Ripper. So I thought, what am I doing? I'm going to have nightmares about this if I keep listening to this, because it was getting scarier and scarier and scarier, and I thought, So I thought, no. So I pulled out my romance iPod, and I thought, well, what's at the top? What's at the top of the list? Okay, it's something called At Wolf Ranch, and I forget who it's by. I'll put it right here. I forget who narrates it, but I'll put it right here. So that begins with a woman who has an identical twin, and she's on the phone with her, and their uncle comes in and kills the identical twin. So this woman is rushing home to get to her sister, and then can't go in and is hiding. And I'm thinking, what the heck? Okay, now I'm going to have nightmares about, you know, somebody getting shot. Oh, well, what I do when I am really trying to go to sleep, and I'm not in the middle of another book, like I'm between books, or I just don't want to listen to whatever book I am listening to, I just pull out an old standard. And in this case, it's a children's book by Alice Hoffman called Nightbird. And I listened to that until I fell asleep. And so that works. And so I did that. It was fine. No nightmares, thank God. But I finished book 2 in the Chronicles of St Mary's, and oh gosh, it was so good. It's so good. There's adventure, there's history, there are people that are the bad guys that are trying to change everything, and then the good guys are trying to set it all straight, and paradoxes, and oh, it's just really cool. Well, then I went on to book 2.5, which is a very sweet story. On audio, it's like an hour, but it was very sweet, very poignant. So, and the prequel novella is also very poignant. and it's narrated by the author, and she did a great job. I don't know what I mean, I'm hitting the jackpot with these narrators narrating their own books. So anyway, so now I am on book 3. I have it here. By the way, this works, this hack, you know, where you put your iPod or your MP3 player into this. It acts like a speaker. It works. This is an old candle holder. So anyway, now I'm on book 3, which is called, I can never remember the name of it. It is called A Second Chance. And again, narrated by Zara Ramm. And so far, we've gotten in trouble. We've gotten, you know, went for a very brief look at Sir Isaac Newton and got chased by all the people in near wherever he was in Britain at the time. I think they were at Trinity College or something like that. So anyway, so that is just tons of fun. Right now, they're getting ready to go to Troy. So I'm just thoroughly enjoying this, and I'm not very far in, maybe 25% of the way in, so I've got a lot more to enjoy. Now, when I get to the end of that, I think I'm going to be ready to move on from that world for a while. When I got to the end of the second book, I just wasn't ready to leave the world, you know? So I'll probably do that. And I do want to get to Tell Me Three Things by Julie Buxbaum, and I forget who narrates that. I'll put it right here. But that's just one I've been meaning to read for a while. That's YA contemporary, so it should be a really sweet little story. And on my iPad, I am still trying to get through the beta read of Rysa Walker's second book in her Delphi Effect series. So it's really good. It's really good. And she's so detailed, and you really have to keep track. So this isn't the kind of book that you should be setting down and picking up and putting down and picking up, because you have to keep track of a lot of characters and a lot of things going on. And so just trying to finish it, and I'm going to finish it tonight. And, you know, if I have to stop whatever I'm doing and sit down and read this book, I'm going to do that, because I just feel like it's been too long that I've been fiddling around with it. So those are the only things that I'm reading the end of this weekend and on into next week. I would love to know what you are reading, or what you've been reading, and what you're going to be reading in the next little while. So let's talk about all of that in comments. Oh, one other thing. This next week, A Court of Wings in Ruin, I think that's Ackle War, I don't know, by Sarah J. Maas. It's the third book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. It's coming out, and I know it's going to be amazing. I forget who narrates it. Again, I will put it here, but I know I loved the narrator, and so I'll be interested to see where she goes with this story. She's probably going to have to destroy a relationship so that then she can put it all back together again, and I don't know. But I'm interested to know where that's going to go. And that comes out on May the 2nd. So if I have not finished Tell Me Three Things by then, I may just put it aside for A Court of Wings and Ruin. I don't know. I have to read it because my good friend Mikayla said she's not sure she wants to read it. So she said, you read it and then you tell me. I said, okay. So anyway, so that's it for now from me. Have a great rest of the weekend, and have a good week next week. And I will talk to you in comments, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. One last thing. Special shout out to my sweet, sweet little friend, Winter. Hugs and kisses, lots of love. Mwah!